So why don't we just get started then? I haven't actually loaded any of them up, so hopefully they work. More tech showcase than actual game. Yeah, this might be something. I don't know. It just kind of how it looked. We will see. All right, so hopefully Borderless Gaming will fix this for us. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, I'm feeling a little like spacey. It's just probably going to get a little worse minute by minute. Show. Sweet. So it's like choose an object. So we could eat the seed or grow the seed, huh? We plant the seed. Nature grows the seed. We eat the seed. Do you know that reference? Oh, by the way, sorry if I kept you up too late the other night, Kanithi. And then I didn't even play for a couple of days. I was busy all week for a couple of days. And then night before last, I reinstalled Path of Exile and piddled around a little bit. Did Act 1. And then last night there was... Oh yeah, I got really lucky. Like since I wasn't playing Warframe, I was logging in before work to get my daily login, you know? And I realized there's actually a really good strategy in doing that because you can end up getting, because like if you get your free login reward as a booster for like say a resource drop chance booster, this is exactly what happened. And you know, and it lasts for 16 hours or something. So then when I got home that evening, and I logged in and got the resource booster, which is the one that gives you 2 for 1 instead of 1, you know, like doubles your drop. So those two things in combination are awesome. And I was like, fuck, I really didn't want to play tonight, but I really should take advantage of this because this is pretty sweet. And maybe I'll start doing that from now on. Just log in the morning before work and then to try and get those double boosters stacked again because that's actually pretty sweet. You've been in ESO mostly these past few days. There have been some new cosmetics. Cool. Yeah, I was thinking, it's like, dude, it's like in hindsight, I was like, man, I hope he didn't do, because I just kind of kept going. It's like, I hope I didn't keep him up too late. Hope he does he have to work in the morning? Definitely just tell me if that ever happens again. Like, don't let me keep going. See what happens here. Boom. Oh, but that whole thing I was quoting was from The Young Ones, the hippie Neil. He said, when we plant the seed. Nature grows the seed. We eat the seed. The cycle of life. So what is this? It's got a flower on it, so I wouldn't think it's poison. Plant should have plenty of plant food. Let's just give it some water. A bowling ball. What the hell is that? A box? You didn't have any work that day? Good. Had some people over to work on the roof, huh? After the... Wait, what is the derecho? Derecho. I don't know. You stumped me on that. I don't even... So we could put it in. Is it going to be put in the box? Or are we going to put the box over it and starve it of light until it dies? So are both of these kill options? There's no idea what to expect here. Yep. Need its eyebrows. This is weird. It's basically a wall of wind slowly moving across an area, more devastating than a hurricane because it sticks around for a while in a single spot. It's very devastating for the entire state. That is so weird that I feel like I've never heard that term before. Half of Iowa is without power for a week? Wow, a few $1 billion loss of crops. And this was this past year in 2020? I guess I wasn't following the news when that happened. How did I miss that? Or if it doesn't happen in New York or California or in your own backyard, why would anyone want to know about it? Absolutely no one talked about it in the news. Really? So when did it happen exactly? Was it during the summer? Broken heart. Do we want a sad bear or a happy bear? Do a happy bear. I wonder. I want to know what the other choices are too. Ashton Kutcher was vocal about it because he's from Iowa. Huh. And that was it. So when did it happen? And is this a common thing in Iowa? All right, so we're back to the beginning. Okay. So let's go with opposite choices, if possible. So we're starting a new path here. Big egg or little egg? You're like a little bird. Oh. Okay. It's not what I was expecting. It happened in August. Okay. It's what I would have guessed. Sounds like the kind of thing. So is that similar to what happened during the Dust Bowl? All right, which one should we go for here? That last one was really short. That's creepy. Similar effect, yeah, okay. The highest wind speeds were 140. Damn. So was there like a really bad dust storm? Was there like a haze in the air and shit like you see in the Middle East and other deserty places? Where it's like a cloud cover almost kind of feel, like it feels like a cloudy, rainy day, but it's fucking dust. Probably should choose the other one. Back to the seed. Seedception. I don't remember seeing that one in the list. I thought they all had numbers. So I guess it's actually a bit of a puzzle game then, really, because you're trying to find the patterns that lead you to some end. Basically, he's trying to find all the endings, I guess you'd say. Not so much a haze, but there's a lot of rain. Trees are completely snapped in the wind around your neighbor. Wow. I'm glad you cut your trees down in your yard a month before it happened. Yeah, sounds like it. My parents have had a few incidents, and they've got a tree leaning. And just the other week when I was visiting, talking to my mom about it, she's like, "Yeah, we should probably." I was like, "Yeah, why don't you remove that tree before it collapses on your house?" Because in East Texas, there's a lot of, it's like kind of shallow dirt, I think, or. No, these trees aren't indigenous because it's normally like pine trees, which I guess actually maybe they have deep roots or something. That's why it's all piney there, because they actually do well in the dirt of East Texas, something like that. But these oak trees are not, so they just get old and fall over. And it's like, man, they had one land on the house once or twice, and they had one land on their car. And it's like, even deep rooted can just fall over sometimes. Yeah. Especially it depending on like what the soil is like and stuff. But maybe I think that's what it is that the pine trees have deep roots. And so they actually handle the soil well, but these oak trees don't. What's the common tree type around your neighborhood? Is there like a really common like what's Iowa's state tree? Doesn't everybody have a state tree? I think Texas it's the pecan. If I had to guess, I would say pecan. But I could be wrong. Actually, maybe since actually the live oak might actually be what it is, really. Yeah, I take my answer back. It would probably have to be live oak, especially because they're so common in Austin, and they're ancient trees. They're those crazy oak trees that go all gnarled and curly and live for hundreds and hundreds of years. All right, so we did that one last time. Let's do this one. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get all of the combinations here for this, since it seems so short. It seems shorter than the other one. So this time we go this way. I think we've done all of them the other way. Oh, evil eggplant. Bur oak is the state tree. Okay. I'm not a very good arborist, so I don't even know what a bur oak looks like. I would be surprised if the bur oak is the ones in my parents' neighborhood, actually. For some reason, that actually does sound vaguely familiar. Because when my mom said what they were, I thought, I don't even know what that is. A lot of evergreens, some birch trees are so cool. Where I lived as a little kid at the tip of Lake Michigan, there are lots of birch trees and maple trees. Those are the two trees I remember the most from a little kid up there. The birch tree groves. Because it's really weird at the very tip of Lake Michigan because of where the glaciers retreated from, the focal point there. There's like dunelands. So I actually lived in the Indiana dunelands on the tip of Lake Michigan. So it was so not what you think of when you think of Indiana. And it's like rolling dune hills and stuff. And we lived really close to the lake. There's pine trees too, but they tended to be sort of like in an area. Like you'd have one area that was like the remnants of a pine forest, and another area is the remnants of a birch tree forest. They tended to be bunched up a lot. So I recall, because I remember that there was even a town like the Piney Woods or something like that where my mom lived as a kid that was in the area. And when you would drive through it, it would just like suddenly just be like pine trees everywhere. That is so bizarre. Abduction. They're the fat ones with a lot of low-hanging branches. I wouldn't be surprised if that's... I'm gonna have to ask my mom. I think that might actually be the trees that are problematic in their neighborhood. All right, so we did this. But now we select pig instead of cow. Let's see what happens. All right, I think that was all the choices in the direction of the big egg, right? Yeah, I think so. I think I chose this last time, so I'm going to choose it again just to make sure I've exhausted all the possibilities in this direction. Yeah, we did fire, and then I think that was the end, right? What did it do? Whoa. Was not expecting that. Choking hazard. So I wonder if when you get to the last choice, if there's only one. That's how it seems now that I'm noting it. That there's an achievement for only one of the two final options. It seems. Go this way. Might have already done everything this way, I forget. So we'll do the small egg, and then what choice do we have? Oh, we got the carrot direction, so we actually, yeah, we haven't done these. Dog or elephant? Go to the other side. Brutal. All right, so it's going to be a few more directions we can go. So I did this, and that was the end, right? So if my theory holds true, there should be an achievement for this, maybe? Nope, they don't all have one, apparently. That was everything that direction, right? I think. There were multiple branches on that one. All right, so we did this, but then there's at least one more choice after this, so... I don't remember either of these. Those are the same choices, aren't they? That's different. Okay, that adds a wrinkle to everything. I'm pretty sure I made the same choice there. I made, yeah, the one from left to right where they knocked out the segments. But it gave a different, at least one of the two choices afterwards were different. You know, I suppose the wiser thing would be to just keep choosing the same side every time to get through it a little more methodically. I just clicked the wrong one. God damn it. I did kind of want to double check that there wasn't another choice. I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, there wasn't. Okay, I did. That was the choice I made the first time. I just forgot that was what happened. All right, so we've exhausted the side-to-side direction of the elephant. Okay. I feel like that's everything from this side, I think. Probably missed one somehow. All right, so let's continue down the trail we went, but find the variations on it. I think the last choice was... No, there was another one after it. There was... So we did happy, and then after that there was... Wait. No, actually, I think that was the last choice. Mr. Cuddles. All right, so I think we've done all the bear ones. We didn't get an achievement, did we? I looked away. All right, so that completes through box drawn on with crayon. All right, so we've nearly exhausted. Wait, so the next one, if we choose box, we've already done everything, right? I think. All right. God, we still got all of these to do over on that side. So Kadithi, if you're still there, do you have you ever played Path of Exile? And I think the next one was the last one. You have not? Do you play ARPGs at all? True ARPGs, not like ESO that some people call an action RPG, but that's not really what the term means. Like Diablo School. The Waiter. You know, I've never actually played the Diablo games. I should probably play one of them. The oldest one that I can actually play. Ow, my foot is cramping. Not good. I should probably stand up. Oh. You know, I've been thinking about that. Like, they always talk about, like, move every hour. And I got my Fitbit working again, and it keeps, like, prompting me. And I'm like, you know what? When I stream, I, more times than not, don't even get out of the chair once, and I'm spending half the time with my legs crossed. Like, that's not good. I'm going to get blood clots. I'm going to die before your very eyes. You played one of the Diablos back in the day? That's been your only experience with the genre? Yeah, I would imagine it's come a really long way. I really got hooked. I played Path of Exile like the first month or two of the COVID lockdown. I don't know. I was like, I need a game. I got all this time. I was burned. I had just burned out on Warframe and stopped playing it. And just dove into it big time and cranked out some hours into it. And then reminded me that I hadn't, that I had barely scratched the surface of Grim Dawn, which I really got hooked on. In a lot of ways, I like Grim Dawn a lot more than Path of Exile, but Path of Exile has way more replayability to it. But I don't know, I really like Grim Dawn. But those were my first two games really to play in it. And then I've actually picked up Titan's Quest, which was the predecessor of Grim Dawn, set in ancient Greece and Atlantis and you know, ancient times. I've played it a little bit off stream. I don't think I've ever streamed it. Like I've realized I like action RPGs, I guess. But the couple of times that I've streamed them, I didn't get a lot of people. But then again, I generally don't. I don't know. But it's like one of those things where, like, what games do I dive and commit to? But one of those other problems is, like, I find when I'm playing these new games that I'm trying to learn them, and that which means watching YouTube videos and looking stuff up on the Wikipedia and stuff like that all the time, which, you know, seems like, I don't know, streaming me doing that wouldn't be ideal, but I don't know. I'm probably just making excuses. Can't remember where we're doing bowling ball now, right? Yeah. All right, so we did that. I think there's one more choice we haven't done. Like, when you don't have to choose brain, you can choose something else. Yeah, hat. We haven't done hat. That was quick. Hocus pocus. Excuse me. One thing about Path of Exile, though, I'll say, is that the graphics are beautiful, very crisp and very modern looking, I guess you'd say. But I like but Grim Dawn is very distinct and hand drawn, all of it, whereas the lines are a lot harder and computery, and and procedurally generated in Path of Exile, whereas Grim Dawn isn't procedurally generated, although it has procedural elements where there are certain directions within the map that are procedural. Like one time a pathway might be blocked and you'll have to like go another way. And so it's nice. It's just weird enough because like you'll get some of the arrangements the most often, and then every now and then you get another. So it's just often enough that when you're replaying it, you're like, wait, what? I thought I knew this map. Well, so it's just random enough to keep it feeling fresh, I guess you'd say. Whereas Path of Exile, it's just random every time. And if you exit the map for more than, I forget what the cooldown is, 15 minutes maybe at most. I don't even think it's that long. I don't know. But if you exit a zone without going into, I think, another zone other than an adjoining zone, maybe, I don't know. Either way, if you leave a zone, you can go back to it within a certain time frame, and outside of that it resets, which means not only do you lose anything that's dropped on the ground, but the map resets. So it's like, where your objectives are and the connections to the adjoining zones will go to their random possibilities again. And I find that to be more annoying than anything, to be honest, because it forces you to like play addictively, basically like you must keep going, hurry. Whereas you get a similar thing with Grim Dawn, but not as really, because basically they don't respawn. So it's the same idea, but they don't reset until you restart the game. So as long as you don't quit out of the game or go back to the character selection screen, mobs won't respawn. So you can try to push a playthrough where you don't want to have to refight through an area. But you can just because you're playing single player, you can just hit escape and just pause the game basically, or even pause you can bind pause to something. Whereas you can't do that with Path of Exile. I know a lot of people have called Grim Dawn the spiritual successor of Diablo 2. Or Titan Quest, the spiritual successor, and then Grim Dawn, the spiritual successor of Titan Quest. Basically, the company folded, and a bunch of the people who worked for the company started their own company, Crate Entertainment, and got the rights to do. So it used a lot of materials. It's so similar to Titan Quest. It's funny. It's like you feel like, wow, I actually know how to do most of these things and understand, even though they've kind of had made some changes along the way. You definitely feel like the mechanics in a general sense. All right, so we did smiley face. And then we got hat. And then we had there's at least one more choice from hat, right? Apple. God, we're still doing water, I think. You like the more hand-drawn type stuff? That's why you love Banner's Saga games? All rotoscoped. I don't know Banner's Saga games. Is that the franchise name or the company name? Bring up my Steam. So I can add these things to my list to watch for them. Ugh, it's going to make me... It's annoying. I tell it to remember me, but I don't know. Better safe than sorry. Steam 2-factor authentication all the times. Bit of a pain in the butt. I'm surprised it doesn't make me do my PayPal authentication more often when I'm buying stuff. But I guess it's learned like that those little shit game purchases are typical. It's like, nope, that's standard behavior for this account. It's the name of the series. It's resource management turn-based strategy. Cool. I've seen a lot of those. There's a lot of turn-based strategy games that I think I would enjoy, but I just can't bring myself to do them. Like the SOCOM, I think is what the series is called, right? And other games by that same company. Like the one with the animals that's more recent and stuff. Like I was like, those look cool, but same with like the God games, like the building games. Like was it Ancient Civilization or whatever, and SimCity and all those types of things. I don't even have time to play the game genres that I do like and I buy. I buy way faster than I can consume. What was it called? Banner Saga. This may come as a shock and surprise, but I've ignored it. Oh, I like the art. See, now every now and then I'll play a game out of my comfort zone because I like the art a lot. And this totally looks like that kind of game. Banner Saga 3. Looks pretty cool. All right, I've changed the status to wish list. We'll see. Make it one of those games that'll be on such a deep sale I can't resist it, but then I'll never play it. All right, so we did bowling ball, and then we get hat, and I believe we've exhausted hat. So does that mean we've exhausted bowling ball, and I'm going down a path I've already completed? No, we haven't done this side. Shit, was there another? I can't remember. Yeah, we've already done everything on this. What is that? A cow chip? So, what was that? I hope I didn't just... There's another choice, right? Or no? Shit. We're out of choices. All right, so now we're finally on the bottle. You think I would like those games? There's nothing other than the story and the art style. It looks like it. To watch for that. All right, so now we go this direction. What we only have is, I see a 4 up here. I just noticed this. Like, is that like counting how many things you've unlocked? I feel like this is the only direction we haven't unlocked everything. Seems like there's a lot of possibilities in this direction, though. There are a lot of options there. The teeth. Trying to remember, I think there's... So if we do death, that goes to the play. Magnetic bees. Metal bees? Or flies, rather. Trying to think, was there like a pun in that? Like, why were they able to use the magnet on the flies? There's a joke I think I'm missing. Okay, so we choose this. I think we've exhausted the choices in this direction, right? This is the euphemism of, although it's usually, I've heard it said with sprinkles, but this would be the same thing. A pile of shit with whipped cream and a cherry on top is still a pile of shit. But I always heard it as a pile of shit with sprinkles on it is still a pile of shit. Okay. Hey, Shepard, how's it going? But it's a well-presented pile of shit it was. How you doing? Good to see you. What a time to unmute. Yeah. Yeah, this has been interesting, sorta. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I don't remember. Was there another choice after this one? I don't think there was there? Shit, I don't remember. Okay, we'll find out. Oh yeah, because he just gets eaten, right? Oh no, there was another choice. So we did bread, so... Alright, cool. Had the stream in the background muted for a bit while doing other stuff. Seems like an odd... Yeah, so I'm doing some free games. And so this was one of them. It's overwhelmingly positive, and so I thought I'd check it out. Because I'm probably going to be... it's probably going to be a short stream. I got my second COVID shot today, so I'm starting to feel a little... So I figured I'd do these, that they wouldn't take too long. The one after the second game I've got lined up is a destructible environment game. Like you're in an office. I forget what it's called. A perfect pest or something. And you're given a sledgehammer and you're supposed to eliminate all pests, but it's like a destructible environment type game. So they both seem like they're. I thought this was going to be more of a physics type game, but it's not really. I don't know what you call it, really. They're also peachy. I've been good, like I said, other than I have COVID now. I have a mild strain of COVID. Most people say to expect to feel a little ill the next day. I got my shot at like 2:00 this afternoon, so it's been a little over 7 hours now. So I think I'm slowly beginning to feel it. Get through the mild stuff from shot 2, hopefully. Yeah. So I take it you got yours. What shot did you get, and how did it affect you? We're down the home stretch on this game, I think. Pretty sure we've gotten most of the endings. All right, what was right before that? So that was, I believe, all of the poop options. You haven't yet? You're in a big city in Virginia, so there are a ton of people in line. But don't you have like a zillion options for getting it? Like, we had so many options around here for getting it. It was kind of ridiculous. Oh, crap. I've already done all these options. I think. Yeah. It's always iffy in the bigger cities, really. Theoretically, but... Yeah, Khadifi works for the entity, I don't know what you would call it, the organization responsible for disseminating, I guess is how would you put it, Khadifi, for disseminating the vaccines in Iowa? Yet here, like CVS was doing it. I think Walgreens was, and then they weren't. So maybe I have a feeling Walgreens might have been doing the Johnson & Johnson one, maybe. And then when that went away, they weren't. Because I got my first shot during the pause 3 weeks ago to tomorrow. But like there were like so many, like they were doing them through the universities. The city was doing it. Like I did it at, I think I mistakenly called it like the Austin Diagnostic. Wait, I don't know. I can't know. I called it the Austin Center for Disease Control or something. But it was the travel clinic at the Austin Diagnostic Clinic, where one of my coworkers' stepmom works, and she told me about it, and I just called and they set it up. Apparently they do walk-ins too. Like I saw, the sign said they prefer appointments, but they do walk-ins as well. So it just seemed like in Austin, there's like no excuse not to get it, or at least not because you couldn't find a place that had it. The State Hygienics Lab for Iowa. We do all the testing for the state, for the COVID testing. You don't distribute the vaccines. That's for the hospitals and other organs. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wonder if it's like totally different in every state how they handle it. And in Texas, they allowed businesses to participate, they allowed universities to participate, and they allowed hospitals and clinics to participate, because it just seemed like all of the options were there. I assumed everybody was just getting like bombarded with possibilities. I'm actually curious to know what the state's vaccination rate is. Is there like a website that has that kind of information where you can, like, if you go to the CDC, do they have the vaccination rates for all the states? You're surprised that Austin is so well equipped for that? Why does it surprise you? I mean, Wouldn't maybe being we're a capital city and a university city and a medical center and a tech center, and we're probably getting more than our fair share because of all that. I wouldn't be surprised. There is. You can check it regularly. I'm curious to see that, like how Texas ranks. Just Google CDC vaccination statistics. All right. Hold on this one. I'm tempted to do that right now, but I should probably just keep playing. I'll have to check that because I've been wondering where Texas. Crap. I think I've already done everything down this direction. Yeah, we'll do this choice. Just variety. The best area, I missed that. The best area you've seen nearby for it was old, closed down Sears in the mall. Really? They converted the whole thing into a drive-through? Really? All right, so... Wait, how did I get to this point again? Is there anything we haven't done on this side? So we do that, and then... Oh, we haven't done spiders. Okay. Texas as a whole is in the vague category. They show it per 100,000, and Texas is listed as 1 to 75,000 per 100. I don't know how to interpret that. Which is seemingly the worst rating? How do you interpret that, though? One to 75,000 per 100K. That's pretty vague. It's a pretty wide range. Does that mean it's not being reported? Does it also, like, how do they get their reporting too? Because, like, I was presented with the option to do the, to file online kind of thing, whatever, like to, for the passport shit, and I'm not doing that. I got my shot. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to fly or do any of that kind of stuff. I don't feel comfortable with it, but not because I'm like, tinfoil hat about it, but I just sort of feel like it's a slippery slope that I just don't think is necessary. You agree? Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's because what could potentially happen with it, that they could blacklist people, which they would already be doing. Like, you can't fly or, and leave, enter another country or something. And I don't know. It just seems, I don't know, a little Big Brother, a little ripe for exploitation in unimagined circumstances. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. We already know we did. I think it ended on the tooth one. I wasn't even paying attention. So we'll go this way. And I feel like I need to let's verify the other one real quick. Wait, so what did you get timed out for? Oh my god, I hate that. Did you try to post a link? What happened? Hold on, let me were you trying to post a link? I will if that's the case, I can. How do I? God damn it. This is so annoying when it's at the bottom. I gotta wait for it to go up higher so I can see the bottom. That is so annoying. Oh, you can move it up. There we go. Permit. So there, if you've been granted 60 seconds of freedom. I need to see if there's a way to make that not purge you when that happens. Like, I don't want people to be purged, but you need to block links. No worries. Yeah, I'm sorry that. Let's see. I'm curious to see where they get their information from. Well, and that's a percentage of 16 plus, which they only just opened it up to. So everybody should be like 16 plus would be bad. Like if you look at the 65 plus, it starts getting much. It's like 83%. Or is it? Is that the max? I don't know. I would imagine there are a lot of factors at play that can skew those numbers. All right, so I'm thinking if we do this choice, then we end up with 2 teeth choices. Let's verify that. Yeah, shit. I feel like that was ages ago that we saw that one. So 9.1 fully vaccinated. Out of how many? I would imagine things like that would impact it as well. Like the population of the state, the size and how spread out the state is, the rural nature of the state, that you're going to end up with fewer rural people getting it, which would be understandable, not even like taking politics into account, just the idea of, you know, if you're not around a lot of people, you may not feel overly compelled to go get your vaccination, you know, if you live in the country. All right, so that ended on that side, right? So do this side. Portal, cool. Based solely on those vague stats, Texas is around 33%, fully ignoring age and everything else. Portal. So, based on just taking all the numbers at face value that are on there, does that, because that doesn't make Texas last, does it? Because I would feel that, I don't know, I would be skeptical that we are actually last. Or maybe, I don't know. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't, you don't need to. I didn't mean to make a bunch of work for you. It's no biggie. These are just curiosities I've had in my mind. Oh, and the cake. I didn't even realize that the portal one was the cake. The cake is a lie. To infinity and beyond. So this still hasn't updated past 4 up here. Does that mean anything? What is this? Is that even a 4? Has it been there the whole time? So I thought the achievements all had numbers, and none of these have had numbers on them. Which has me a little confused. Shit, I think we've exhausted all the possibilities, actually. Yeah. So what was it before the pencil? This stuff is fun for you? Okay, cool. Your bet is Alabama last, said as someone who lived there for a while. Yeah, that would definitely fit some stereotypes, but who knows? I mean, because there could be a lot of factors at play, especially if states are all handling it differently, and if some of them have made it more convenient than others. You know, I saw some statistics today that said the staff at the CDC, or actually more specifically, whatever the sub organization is that Fauci is part of, like he said that. I'm trying to remember if it was the percent vaccinated or the percent unvaccinated, but it was more or less down the middle anyway, so it almost didn't matter. But I believe it was 40 to 50% are unvaccinated. And these are the people who are telling us to get vaccinated. And I was just like, what? And then there was another organization. What was it? The White House? Basically, in this article, it was like alleging that these two groups that are very vocal about everybody getting vaccinated, they themselves are at about only 50% vaccination. Which I found puzzling, to put it mildly. All right, so if we do broccoli, are there other options? I think we're out of options. We are. So that would be... That's everything. Do we get all the achievements? Or did I miss one? Let's see. One, 11, and 12. Really? Fuck. We missed some. How? Okay, that one was under ice cream. All right, so where was we gotta So it gives us some idea where it was. If I remembered how to get to ice cream. Some states have much better public info than Texas, but to keep it fair, you're just going to do total pop versus full. Yeah. I mean, it's all you can do. Ice cream was actually... I don't know where that was. Yeah, we did miss this one. I'm amazed that I actually kind of remember. It's like, I think it's in this direction. All right, did I miss any others in this direction? Probably. I scream, you scream, we all scream for Judas Priest. It's like a radio ad I remember as a kid. Nevada is at 30.3. And what did you say Texas was? 33? We're not in last. Plus, I imagine those numbers are going to be changing pretty rapidly right now because of the delay between getting your second shot. So if we're talking 2 shots... And apparently, like, Pfizer is 3 weeks, and some of the others, like Moderna, are 4 weeks. So, if a state has a preponderance of a 3-weekers versus 4-weekers, they would be running 1 week different kind of thing. There's so many little variables, I imagine. But more like, you know, in a month or from now, how do the numbers look? All right, so I didn't mean to go this direction, actually. I remember the other 2 achievements. One of them had a picture of someone in a rowboat, I think, and the other one was water. Like a big drop of water, I want to say. Let's look at it, actually. Big drop of something. Rusty Lake. I'm getting a little sniffly. Wyoming's at 29. Yeah, I would imagine that as a broad generalization that the more rural a state is, that the lower the numbers are likely to be. But there's probably tons of exceptions to that as well. Because if a state is like not the largest population and they've actually had a good network for getting things out, they could probably get their rate up, especially when we're talking just a few percentage points of difference. Shit, that was the wrong choice. Where was the devil horns at? Too many. Yeah, don't. It's interesting to see. So ballparking, like on the low end, is around 30%. Who's at the top? What percentages are running at the top? Out of curiosity, if you're interested to look up any more, how much disparity are we talking? And again, like we were saying, like, you know, reporting could make it a huge difference. These numbers may not truly reflect the actual numbers, but you know, you have to take what you have. I'm pretty sure we did this. Ooh, here's the missing ones I haven't done. Yeah, they're probably both from this. It's all very vague and because, yeah. I mean, which is the reality of all numbers. They're subject to interpretation. Oh, we can get one for that. I thought for sure. I mean, it was water. I made the wrong choice. God damn it. I went the wrong direction. I'm supposed to go with the egg. How do we finish this quickly? Oh, gotta keep stretching my arm. What? Damn it, there's still two that we don't have. Oh, I just made the wrong choice. God damn it. Vermont is up there at 46%. Yeah, I think that's a perfect example where I was saying that, like, despite being somewhat rural, that some of the smaller population states, especially if they get things done efficiently, could and report efficiently. All right, well, hopefully that milk carton option we haven't explored. Okay, that was this. I think we did everything in this direction. What the hell are these other two? Yeah, this one is the UFO abduction, and this one is where it gets skewered. But yeah, but that's interesting, though, to think that 46% is at the top. Like, it's still below 50%, which is somewhat surprising. One of the viewers from Brazil, like when I tweeted earlier today that I got my shot and that, you know, I planned to stream, but that I would let, you know, keep people posted that it might change if I wasn't feeling well. And he replied to my tweet saying, you know, good to hear we're here in Brazil, we're still vaccinating the 65-plus-year-olds. It's like, sorry to hear that. But I know they're already talking here. Like I've seen some, you know, articles talking about, you know, the discussion to move unused vaccines to countries more in need. I would imagine that India has gotten a big bulk of that. And, you know, the way things work and how the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to send stuff to India, but they can't even distribute it. And everybody started sending everything to India, which is screwing over places like Brazil, for instance, or, you know, other large, somewhat, you know, economically depressed countries that are greatly in need, you know, because it's whatever that gets the light shined the brightest on it, right? So like everybody's talking about India right now when there's all of these other countries that are probably also in dire need themselves. And the U.S. has stepped up pretty well. Yeah, I would think that, like, who? Yeah, okay, so I got a friend, there's a viewer, Fresh UK, he's in Germany. We were talking just the other night. I thought for sure, I was thinking, like, Germany, everybody's gotten it. He hasn't gotten his yet in Germany because he says he keeps trying. And like you have to get it from your doctor. And he says, you know, they're all booked up or whatever every time he tries, that he's constantly like, I want to say he was maybe saying like every day he checks or something that made that I was very surprised to hear, because you would have thought like, you know, that the major countries of Europe would probably have had a much higher vaccination rate, and apparently not. All right, so I want to try that other one with the umbrella again. Was there another choice after the umbrella? I don't see how I could have missed two more endings. It's like there's probably like one thing I haven't branched out on. Where it is, I have no idea, because I feel like I've done them all. Yeah, all right, so let's make sure we've done all the Halo options. Okay. Main, is that the one at the top? The U.S. went from one of the worst to one of the front runners. Hopefully, you're right, and the plans are implemented to help the rest of the world. Yeah, because I want to say they're saying it's kind of getting to the point where it's beginning to feel like those who are going to get vaccinated, most have gotten vaccinated. But I have to wonder, because I just keep hearing stories where it just sounds like it's not necessarily as convenient for everyone as you might expect. You know what would be like super convenient is if they just had like travel clinics that where employers could just book it. So they would just drive around so you could catch people at work. Because I imagine that's why a lot of people haven't gotten it done, because they're just busy and it's not convenient. That was why I didn't get it when I first got it, because all of the options that I saw presented were inconvenient. But then somebody was like, hey, you know, the coworker whose mom worked at this travel clinic that's not very far from where I live, they were like, she was like, you live up north, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you know, have you got your thing? I was like, no. And she's like, you know, and she told me, and I was like, that actually sounds really easy and convenient. And so that helped me get it done, that I could actually do it with minimal time and driving and etc. It definitely isn't all that convenient for people in lower income areas. I would imagine, or in lower income, if you're talking just urban low income or rural. I mean, imagine like rural low income, you know, just rural. That's got to be even more inconvenient. I would think I would think that, I don't know, it just depends on where you're at and how you're defining lower income. Because actually around the Austin area, if you live in the lower income areas, you're probably actually closer to more convenient locations, actually, especially because a lot of people have been pushed out of the city. And what people like the CVSs around the city rather than CVSs in the city apparently were much easier to get appointments. So there are people who could, you know, go to CVS or downtown. The university was doing it, or I live up here in the north, and you know, a clinic complex up here had it, and I have no idea what other options there even were, but I remember most of the ones that I saw promoted were all downtown. But one of my coworkers said that he went to Round Rock, which is a city just outside of Austin, a suburb of Austin, where a lot of the lower income people have actually been displaced to. Alabama is second worst at 27. But I would think the thing about being lower income, if you are employed, is one of those things that people who are employed and lower income have jobs that are probably less, conducive or to leaving early, taking a day off, to getting it done. I would imagine that that's one of those other sort of tangential elements about your income, or more accurately, your socioeconomic situation, because that takes into account your education and your profession and location that you live, that the lower you are socioeconomically, the less easy it is to get time off and to get to location, probably. Whereas people who have office jobs and whatever, you know, they can probably be like, yeah, I got to go early today, or I'm going to come in late today, or I'm going to take a long lunch today so I can go get my shot, you know, and everybody else is like, you know, working at the fast food joint where, yeah, good luck with that. Mississippi at 25. That was the one in the back of my mind, thinking about like some of those like states you typically see at the bottom of rankings you don't want to be at the bottom of. Like literacy and education and poverty, median income. We did everything in this direction, didn't we? How could there be any others we haven't done? It's always Mississippi, yeah, isn't it? What is it like? Isn't the joke about Alabama and Mississippi being at the bottom? Like, I'm trying to remember like a sketch where it was like probably Alabama, like making fun of Mississippi, like, at least we ain't Mississippi, kind of thing. I don't feel like there are any more options in this direction. What could we have missed? But we're stuck here. So keep going forward. You've had the pleasure of visiting Mississippi. It's not exactly how I've driven through it twice, I guess, once in each direction. On my way to Florida, like I spent the month after I graduated from high school, like a good chunk of the summer after I graduated in Florida with my best friend working for his father in the Tampa area, which was a bit of an interesting culturing experience. God bless Tom Petty. That was the interesting thing. I was like, apparently Tom Petty must be from around here, because everywhere we went, it was very common for people to have. Oh, wait, did we explore all of these? Let's double check this one. Everybody, half of their crap is really old and run down. The towns are half abandoned, among other problems. I bet it looks kind of interesting, though, I guess, to see all of these really old buildings. It's probably like when you drive around Texas, as you go down the smaller highways, which is probably the same way like almost everywhere. You know how you go the small highways, 2-lane highways, and eventually they go through some town somewhere, and you go through like their downtown district, which old-fashioned brick buildings, a bunch of stores in a row, you know, and these days most of them have been regentrified and stuff, and so they'll have like, you know, a lot of like weekend what do you call it, like road trippers will come into town and stuff like that. So you see that all the time in Texas, but most of them don't look run down. They just look old, and you know, as people spread out. But so there is it, you go through them and it's not like that. It's more like a ghost town. Alabama's a fun culture shock. Moved there temporarily, really. Don't exactly miss it. But the food was amazing, really. Well, how would you characterize the food? There's got to be some water options that I haven't explored. I feel like I have. I have no idea how I've missed 2 fucking things. So we did water. We did that. He inhales it. Now I've done both of these. Unless there's another option after. Yeah, so all right, so that's all the scissor options. No, I didn't mean to do that. Just proper Southern hearty cooking. You're a sucker for steak and potatoes, and that seems to be about half of all the foods in the area. What about like baked macaroni and cheese? It's sweet tea. Those are Old South traditions. Texas isn't really Old South, so we don't have those things where, you know, we've got the Tex-Mex thing. Like a lot of things that people think of, like, that's Mexican food. It's like, no, not really. That's Tex-Mex. Like beef and cheese, those aren't really the traditional Mexican staples. The beef and cheese elements are Southwest. They're Tex-Mex, etc. That's what you pretend is Mexican food? Yeah, Tex-Mex? Yeah. I think I've done everything in the direction of water, and both of the things we're looking for have water associations. So I don't have no idea. I thought for sure it was going to be that one that had the umbrella on the egg. That's everything in this direction. We've done everything in this direction. I just don't see how I could have missed two things. What am I missing? Pretty sure I did everything on the TV, but I guess I'm pretty sure I did everything in every direction, so I'm obviously wrong. And this just has the one. Your mom's from Mexico. She always complains that the East Coast Mexican food is terrible. Yeah, I would imagine. Never get your food anywhere where they pronounce jalapeno. For me, that is like a strong indicator about one's knowledge of Southwestern and Mexican cuisine. It's like if you say jalapeno, I just turn off. I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. All right, so I'm about to give up on this and just move on to the next game. Like, did I miss one of the fly options? It's like it's probably one of the first ones we did, and I probably just missed something. Yeah, I did both of these because this does the play, and then you get thumb up or thumb down, and this does the ghost, where I don't think it gives you a second option. It's like where they perform the ritual. I give up. You're in Virginia Beach, which is the far southeast corner of Virginia. And you're right on the line of sweet tea. Yeah. I do unsweetened tea. I used to like sweet tea when I was actually, I don't dislike sweet tea, but it's like drinking a soda, which is just something I try to not do. I like them, but they're not good for me. And they're also not quite as like thirst quenching. So I'd say if I'm dehydrated, like an unsweetened iced tea is way more refreshing. Speak of the devil, I have unsweetened iced tea right here. From Chick-fil-A. They have decent tea. Which is hard in Austin because we get our water from Lake Austin, which is actually the lower Colorado River. It's dammed multiple times as you come through the area. And there's algae in the water. So Austin water actually has a bit of an algae issue, which is not unhealthy, although I don't know, maybe it could cause problems if you aren't from the area. I don't know. I've never really heard people complain. It's more like an aesthetic problem that you can smell it, especially if you let water sit around or tea. You know how you go to places and they put their tea out on the counter in a dispenser, that tea sits there and gets room temperature. And when that happens, it can take on a little bit of a funk. And I used to complain. I felt so bad before I realized that, where I'd be at places and I would always go in the middle of the afternoon when it was slow and I'd be like, hey, you might need to clean your tea machine. And at some point, the light bulb went on in my head of like, no, that's the water. They're just using tap water. They're not like, using bottled or filtered water. They're not cleaning it out. So because the inverse of to fix it is to add more chlorine to the water, which isn't exactly healthy either. And so my understanding, I remember reading an article about it a couple of years ago, like during South by Southwest, they up the chlorine percentage in the city water for the out of towners so that they aren't put off by the smell of the water in their hotel. Some years it can be much worse too. Like if the algae bloom is bigger some years, depending upon the weather. It doesn't bother me. I think it says the water has a healthy ecosystem in it. That's a good thing. We've also got a lot of limestone in the area, so the water's really soft as well. All right. We're over the Edwards Aquifer, so a lot of the water. I think Austin's water, like I said, comes out of the lake, but it still kind of passes the water. The rainwater passes through that into the aquifer and into the river basin and everything. But basically, south and west of Austin, towards the Edwards Plateau, is the Edwards Aquifer. It goes all the way down to San Antonio. I think San Antonio and areas in between there and here get their water like through artesian wells and whatnot from the aquifer. And so many people are moving into Central Texas, it's putting a real big strain on it. Actually, we keep having like water rationing. Although this year we've had a ton of rain, so just got to get a massive Brita. Yeah, I keep one in the fridge, so, and we have one at work, like a cooler type one, that we run it through. And when the water's cold, you don't smell it at all. But, like at work, I'll get a cup of water and leave it sitting on my desk. And if it sits there like all day and then I go and I polish it off at the end of the day before I leave and wash my cup, I'll notice it sometimes. Like when it's sat there and gotten room temperature for hours, you'll notice it. And these aren't in enormous years. So is that what's going on in Iowa, Kadithi? Have you guys been in drought for years now? Because that storm you were talking about sounded like a drought type issue. Because it's, the yin and the yang. It's like if one area is getting an inordinate amount of rain, that means somewhere else is getting less than normal. Oh, you mean back when when you were in Texas? Okay. Yeah, it goes through those periods, it's like when it rains, it pours. Yeah, and it helps to like build the lake, so if they can get the lake levels up. Because basically there's three major lakes in particular here in the Austin area. The largest is called Lake Travis out to the west, and then that's dammed, and that lake is pretty deep at the dam and is where the largest quantity of water will be collected. And so when it's really low, there's an island out in the middle and everything, and then it can just get dramatically deeper from there, which I'm curious. I wonder what it is like these days. And then it becomes Lake Austin, which is more like a wide, slow river look. It's like brown and the width you would think of a river, but it generally doesn't move unless the dams are open, depending upon how much rain we've had. And then when you go into downtown, there's another dam, and there it's more like a lake, almost like a small lake in the center of the city downtown. It used to be called Town Lake, but when Lady Bird Johnson died, they renamed it Lady Bird Lake, despite the fact that she was always opposed to that, because she was part of the people that created the parks around it and the walkways, whatever you want to call it, the hike and bike trails around it. It's basically looped, and it just separates North Austin from South Austin, runs right through downtown. It's always either tornadoes or droughts. Yeah. Because we're in the center, that the storms that come through, we're part of Tornado Alley. And so I think what happens is when the jet stream dips way down, but we're also far enough south and west that we get Pacific storms as well. So when the rain comes from the north, it tends to be cold air slamming into warm, humid air, and it creates thunderstorms and flash floods. We get a lot of severe weather because of the collision of the Gulf warm moisture if it comes from the southeast, or the southwest moisture if it comes from the Pacific across Mexico. And so it seems like it's a constant tug of war over Texas between winds from the north and winds from the south. It's just constantly. And so they create these frontal boundaries, and we call them northers if they're coming from the, because they're coming from the north. And that is a huge percentage of the rain in Texas is of that nature, where it's like these collisions of warm, moist, warm, humid lows colliding with cool, dry, high pressures from the north. Or hurricane type seasonality from the southeast, or hurricanes and typhoons coming across from the Pacific. Like they like to, and like I said, if the jet stream is dipping down the center of the country, it seems even more pronounced, which seems to be what's happening this year. It's been so cold. I'm pretty sure the jet stream is obviously dipping down the center of the country. It has to be. Yeah, the hurricane's off the Gulf, exactly. And this far inland, what we generally get, we don't get a lot of the storminess of it. It kind of depends on a little bit of the luck of like where it comes aground, but generally we just get more like, you'll get these big low pressures that have a slow cyclical pattern, almost like, a tropical depression. That's what they call them. This year it's been more like it just keeps cold air from the north, just constantly cold air from the north. Still, like it's like this morning, like it was pretty chilly. All right, I'm about to give up on this. I don't know what I missed. About time to move to the next game. Let's still see how I could have missed. All right, let's double check this. I'm pretty sure you just do this and mix the sandwich, you eat it, and that's the end, I think, right? Yeah. At least they're not. That was on this side, right? I'm sure every state says this, but the saying, if you don't like the weather, the saying in Texas is, if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. I imagine everybody feels that way. So then we did this, and then there's another option, right? Yeah, and then this is the end. I just don't see how there's anything that I've missed. What am I missing? Okay, that's one right there that we didn't have. Wait, so are there... It's random, I guess. Maybe. Is it? So maybe we didn't have all the possibilities in play? This is control options. Oh, look, it had a built-in feature to make it full screen. It's really rare there, really. Every now and then it'll flip flop, but usually you have a few days of consistency. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess it's pretty common here for the weather to be dramatically different within the course of a day because of like I was saying, like the fronts that come through all the time. So you're always watching to see when the fronts are coming through, and they can swing the temperature dramatically as well. And it's very common, especially in the spring and fall. And then in the summer, it tends to be more like warm, humid air from the south, either southeast or south, either from the Gulf or from the Pacific across Mexico. Just depends on whether it's an El Nino year or not or whatever. So these all look familiar, though, actually. So I wonder if we start a new one. So what did we just do? That seemed like we were like shuffling, maybe. Or were we? Still really feel like one of the water ones should be in this direction. The fronts there will ride up and down the Appalachian Mountains, so there's some... Okay, yeah. See, I guess that's one of the things is when you've got a mountain range, it really removes some of the randomness of your weather patterns. Like in Colorado, whether the west side versus the east side of the Rockies is very different. So it just ends. It totally seems like that would be where this last one is with the boat. It's like Lake something or other. Rusty Lake. So that should be a clue. I swear that feels like it should have something to do. It is an odd game, yeah. Funny thing is it says it's not a game, it's a toy. All right, maybe we could Google it. It's a really odd toy. Yeah, it is. All right. I'm going to Google this real quick. Maybe we can figure it out. All right. So I've got like the Chrome add-on for dark, like a dark theme. I really wish Chrome would introduce a dark theme officially. But it's so annoying that the button disappears for some reason. It's weird. Like if I don't disable it immediately, at some point the button disappears and you're stuck in dark mode, and some websites don't work with it, which is annoying. Or the inverse is I turned it off, and like now that I want to turn it on because you can see how bright it is in my face, it's not there. Like I don't even know how to, there's got to be a way to re-access it, but the button in the top right corner just disappears. It's annoying. All right, so what is this game even called? Mitoza or something weird like that? Mitoza Rusty Lake. All right, somebody's got a video. What the heck? Is that what is this what we had happen, or is this different? How did they do that? I don't understand what happened there. So it's a menu thing. So we clicked that. Yeah, we did that. I remember that happening, but I don't remember the elephant coming in. But then he clicks over here. It's like... Oh, wait, hold on. It looks like they just... There has to be a reason why they were clicking there. Like, they did something there. They somehow affected what happened. Happy Friday. Hey, Hearted, how's it going? How you doing? For some reaon, my brain read that. Happy birthday. How you doing? Good to see you, Hardhead. Happy Friday to you as well. Happy Free Friday. That didn't clear it up at all. Yeah, they got the achievement when they did it too. How you doing? All right, so let's see. So he had his cursor up here. Wait, what just happened? Why did just these light up? Oh, wait, did it have something to do with what was on the menu right before that happened? Like, why are these lit up? You have to complete everything. So okay. Ugh, what a pain in the butt. That's going to be a real pain in the ass. All right, I'm not going to do that right now. I don't want to have to like try to go through all of them again. So that's what it must have been, that if you had all of them, and because we didn't have that one achievement, so basically you have to do it twice. I think might be the way to interpret that is you have to complete everything twice to get it. You know, you know what sucks is I could have just done it probably. I fucked it up. So basically when we did it the first time and I got that one achievement, I bet if I had clicked this and then come back in, we would have gotten it. I'm doing good, thank you. Just finished the movie Woman in the Window. Pretty sure. What is Woman in the Window? I don't think I know that one. Ugh. Although I imagine we could complete them quickly now. Crap, I've already done the other one on this playthrough. It's on Netflix. Oh, is it a Netflix original? play. Yeah, so now we can go this direction. You think so? So it was Trippy. Trippy good? You liked it? Cool. Oh, fuck. I'm supposed to click the other one. Damn it. I think that Excedrin is working. I'm feeling a little better now than I was when I first started. See, doesn't it feel like this would be the one where that achievement was at as well? Rusty Lake. All right, so then if we choose this, then it's the carrot. And we did all the options. I didn't mean to click this one. We didn't do everything in the other direction. Well, we might as well finish this direction. Wait, did I do... I did do them, didn't I? Can't remember. Well, I guess the upside of having to do this again like this is, I'll remember it for sure. The thing about 100% in games is it actually makes it far more likely that you will remember everything about the game forever. So you squeeze something out of your brain. So every time you 100% a game, something is lost in exchange, I think. Which may not be a good thing. I've now forgotten the capital of one of the states in exchange for 100%ing this game. Every time you 100% a game, a state capital is forever forgotten. Wait, so can I check my progress here? So were any of these to the right? Where's the lightning bolt and the umbrella? There's a lightning bolt and there's the umbrella, okay. I think goes everything in that direction. That's gonna hurt when you randomly get selected for $1 million game show. Yeah, you're gonna call me your lifeline. I must have forgotten all the state capitals at this point. Pretty close. The only one I remember is the one I live in. Houston. Wait, no. Which indirectly, that is, remember, oh, fuck. Oh my god, I forgot. What is that Cold War movie? Why have I forgotten? What is that? Where, with the Wolverines. What movie is that? Where Russia is invaded and those teenagers in like rural Washington State. I forgot. Red Dawn? Yeah, like remember where they find the pilot, the downed pilot, who says he's from Texas? She's like, what's the capital of Texas? And he's like, Austin. She's like, wrong, it's Houston. Which actually, if you know Texas history, has a bit of irony in it. Because there was very early in Texas's history what is known as the Archive War, where Sam Houston wanted to relocate the capital down to the Houston area, and just north of Houston is a town called Sam Houston, Sam Houston University, Huntsville, which is where like Sam Houston is from. Actually, that's where my grandmother lives these days, and we were there for Mother's Day, had dinner in like one of the oldest houses in the area. That's like a really nice restaurant. But yeah, so the story is that like a contingency from the Austin area rolled up with a cannon, and so it's like a shots fired Texas Civil War, the Archive War, and they showed up with the cannon. No one was killed, no blood loss. Took all of the archive stuff back, and then Austin was made. So there's a bit of like a tug of war on like, and it's Stephen F. Austin, and Sam Houston was actually the first president of Texas. He's sort of our George Washington. He led the military, but he was also like raised by Indians and a drinker, and he got he basically is a very early example of cancel culture in Texas history, where because he was opposed to Texas seceding from the Union and joining the South in the Civil War. So when he already had like, because a lot of the people who led Texas were aristocrats, basically, wealthy landowners, which he was not. He was rough around the edges, didn't go to church, very blue collar kind of guy, and very popular. And so when he opposed that, I think that created a whole lot of bad blood that his reputation never really fully rebounded from. Which is funny how like older people would hear that stories too, because I remember seeing a documentary about it, and they're showing how like where in Huntsville where his tombstone is, where he's buried. It was only like, I don't know, maybe it's pushing 20 years now, but not that long ago that they actually put the kind of tombstone that you would expect for some important person in history like that. Like the Sisterhood of Texas or whatever the organization's called that does a lot of the preservation. They like did a fundraiser or something, and this charitable organization, and put a tombstone. Prior to that, he had like just some really small, very, somewhat generic tombstone. And it was all in part because of this. And I remember seeing a day tripper. There's a PBS show from Texas called Day Trippers, and they go driving around to towns around Texas, doing like little weekend getaways. And so there was one going to Huntsville, and they did that. And so I was actually there like a couple of years ago. We had some friends in, and my parents don't live very far from there. And we were in Huntsville for dinner at that same restaurant that I was just talking about. And I was like, hey, go down here. It's like, I've heard. And it was like right there by the fence line. We actually have some pictures. Maybe I'll put them on Discord. We drove up and took the pictures, and I told everyone the story. But somewhere around there was a point where one of my parents' old neighbors, before he passed away, like I'd just been like telling a story about Sam Houston and getting, how he got cancel cultured and everything because of his position, and that they cast a lot of dispersion on his reputation and played up the womanizing and drinking. And right as I was having this conversation with my dad, this really old neighbor of theirs comes over. It was more of a stereotypical old-fashioned Texan type rural guy. And he comes in during the conversation and the first words out of his mouth after he hears me say, he goes, yeah, he was an alcoholic and a womanizer. Like, that was what I think lots of older people were just told about him. That's all they knew. There was no hero of the people kind of reputation. It's kind of an interesting study in how history is a battle, a never-ending battle. The winners write the history, as they always say. Very fitting that Don Walser's playing Rolling Stone from Texas. This guy, unfortunately, he passed away a good while ago now, but he actually played at my the very first Christmas party at the record store that I work at 25 years ago or something like that, at least 25 years ago. Like Don Walser, though, it's like I'm not big on country music in the slightest, but like as I've gotten older, like jazz and country became like musical genres that could be an alternative. From how I used to joke, it's like alternative music is country and jazz because I'm burned out on everything else. And so in small doses, just to like mix things up, I like a little like old fashioned country and old jazz, but I don't know if I'd want to sit and listen to an hour of it necessarily. Just keep it fresh. We're over here, right? It sucks that we're having to like do this all over. I did do everything that way, right? Yeah. I still don't understand why the magnet works. Everything else in this game makes perfect sense. I didn't do everything in the fly direction, I don't think. Although I might have done it before we started to do another full play through. Gotta be getting close. Okay, so that was interesting. So it didn't have the cake there, but interesting. There are a ton that we haven't done. I think these are all down the water pitcher root or branch. They really want you to. Yeah, I think what screwed it up is I reset. Remember, like I clicked that little like curve like reset button, and I fucked myself. I think there. My guess is I could have come back to that menu and completed it, but I screwed up and reset everything. I misinterpreted it. I thought maybe there was a random nature and we needed to like randomize it, and yeah, that's what screwed it up. I made a poor choice. Mistakes were made. Still got one on this one, the right one here. I don't even remember that one, to be honest. I think this is only the second time we've seen that one. So I guess it's the bright side of some of these. We only saw, most of them we've seen multiple times, but there's a couple that we've probably only seen once. Or maybe just that one, to be honest. Oh, I just clicked the wrong damn thing. Let's make sure I got all the choices in this direction. I think I did. I may not have, actually. I may not have done that one again. I didn't. I don't think I've done either of these again. That one was one of the achievements, which is cool. So I think we need to do the other, the rocket one too. Which was... It was over here, right? Yeah. The music kind of synced up with that fire in the hole. Did I don't think I did everything this way. Oh shit, I did. Damn it. I needed to do the other there. No, we didn't do the hats. No. All right. Yeah. So there's 2 here that we need to do. One more. That was Hocus Pocus. Okay, so I think we've done all the bowling ball. It pooped the seed. Was there another choice after this? Yeah, there was. You know, I'm wondering, like, the one I did just before that, I'm not 100% certain. I'm going to have to watch the VOD. I'm not 100% certain I had that one. So it's possible when we went to that end menu and we got the next to last achievement, we may not have had everything completed, which is why we didn't get it. I don't know. I have to check the VOD on that. Or it has something to do with where it looks like he clicks for some reason. Like, for some reason, he moves his mouse into the center on the clip we watched. This was the very first ending that we got. That was me making what seemed to be like all the happy selections the first time I was playing it, like having no idea what was going on. It's like, I'll pick everything that seems to make sense and be happy. I think this is one we've only seen once. All right, so I think that's all of the crayon options. Now we got to go scissors. I feel like I did these already. Oh, these are the elephant choices. Oh, God, we didn't do the TV choices. Okay. Where were those? Crap, they were the other. They're on the little chick. Or are they over? No, they're over on this, aren't they? They're down the fly path because this is a fly answer. Or we done, or well, this one is because we did this, but we didn't do this. This was with the carrot and the rabbit. Shit, which one don't we have? Up. Please still be there. Okay, good. Oops. All right, so we got to get to the carrot, and the carrot is. Are they both ways? Wrong way. I think. Yeah. All right, so it's gotta be this way. I'd say they all are pretty random, but for some reason that one feels even more random. I don't know how that's possible. Oh, I haven't stood up in a while. All right, we gotta be getting close. Oh, wait, that's everything. No. I clicked. I don't know what we were supposed to do there. I guess I'm not doing it again. I wonder if it will remember. If this will probably be gone when I log back in. So what do you think happens if I do another one? Yeah, choose a vase, select a watering can, select a bowling ball, select TV, tap on the TV, and the achievement is yours. Yeah, it. All right, let's see. Did we just start over? All right, I clicked on something and it did it again. All right, so I remember the. All right, so let's watch the video now. Let's watch that video again. Maybe it'll make sense. History. Oh, seriously? Like that wasn't even a joke? That's literally how you do it? Wait, why was that? That's not what I was expecting. Where? Oh, or do I still have it open? So let's watch him. So he didn't do anything though. His pointer's all the way over there. But the elephant came out. That's weird though, because you don't see him do that there in that clip. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure which achievement. Oh, it's the wrong. It's not the. That's the achievement I did get. I think. See it pop up here. Oh yeah. Well, that doesn't help. The achievement that we saw there is actually the one that I did get on the ending screen. All right. So what did you say? So Rusty Lake. Yeah. So I searched and I put the information in, but the one that popped up that I clicked on, I didn't realize it actually didn't match my search. Or I searched the wrong thing. I don't know. So choose a vase, select a watering can. All right. Vase. What the hell's a vase? Are they calling that the vase? The flower pot? Where is there a vase? So vase, watering can, bowling ball, TV. Tap on the TV? Wait, so select a TV, tap on the TV. What's the difference there? You bet it's the pot. All right, so that. Where's the watering can? The hell's the watering can? Bowling ball. Bowling ball. Where the hell are you, bowling ball? Oh, there it is. So you probably have to do it quickly. TV. So this. If this is indeed the vase. I don't know. To do the actual thing? Oh, of course. So, okay. Oh, and click on the TV. So tap on the select the TV and then tap on the TV. Okay. All right, I gotcha. Gotcha. That makes okay. There it is. That's kind of cool. To think I just replayed all of that, and that was all we needed to do. I'm sorry. Thank you, Shepard, for looking that up. You know, I didn't even notice that, obviously. That sucks. What is that one with the people? So there's that's good news thing. Then what is that one? You know, if I hold the button down, it stays on the screen a little bit longer. Is that like a bunny and a horse on the dance floor? That's so weird. I lost a whole other state capital for that. Yeah, that's hilarious. Now I'm going to get to the point where I'm just going to forget the names of states. I'm going to be like, New Hampshire? What? Where is that? Where's Hampshire? Hampshire. All right. So there, we finished that. Thank you. Another shepherd. Damn it, man. If only we had known that sooner.